Extra time tonight, so I kind of wanted to try another live stream and try out the new camera that I have. Let me get this screen adjusted just a little more. There we go. I think that's helping. There we go. Anyway, I wanted to discuss a little bit of history about me and how I got to where I am as far as a cue maker, and what my intentions are with this stream, Cuemakers Guild. Now, I began this journey of cue making when I was at a tournament. I was at Turning Stone Classic a long time ago, back in the mid 90s, and I had a tip pop off. Let me get this camera adjusted a little more. There we go. I had a tip pop off, and a buddy of mine was at the tournament with me. He was doing key repairs, but he wasn't fully set up yet. And I asked him if he could put a new tip on for me, and he said, "Yeah, sure, I can do that for you, but we're gonna have to do it at my house." I said, "Well, that's not a problem." And so I said, "Can I ride with you?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And so I rode with him to his house, and we went in, and he started doing the whole tip thing. And I looked around the shop, and I seen all the machinery and all that stuff, and I said, "Well, hey, this is kind of cool." And he says, "Well, yeah, I appreciate it." And at the time, I had a machining background anyway. And I said, "But do you mind if I mess around with some of this stuff? Can I, piddle with it and try it myself?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, I don't care." So I spent probably a good 2 weeks, maybe a little more, um, just not a clue what I was doing. And it took a while before I made my first disaster. And that's kind of what you have to look at it. When you first get into cue making, you cannot plan on building your dream cue the first time off. It's just not going to happen. It's trial and error, especially if you don't have someone teaching you. It's a trial and error situation. You kind of learn as you go. You pick up tips here and there. If you're fortunate, you have somebody to kind of hold your hand and teach you what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. But in my case, I I had that individual, which he didn't build cues. He was just a repair guy. But I had that individual, and he let me use his machinery, and I played with it and played with it, and I really got hooked. I wanted to know more. So as the years went on, well, at this time it was in Augusta, Georgia. As time went on, I moved back home to Virginia, and I still was doing cues and learning more every day. And over time, I developed a skill set that has allowed me to produce the quality of cue that I produce today. And that came along with uh, being self-taught, and also help from other cue makers and friends. And anyway, that's how I got to where I am today. Now, I say that, and I bring this up because that's part of the root of the reason that I created this channel. You know, I was lying in bed one night not too long ago, and I was thinking to myself, of all the people that I currently help teach how to build cues, how can I help more people? And the obvious answer to me was to create a YouTube channel, hence Cuemakers Guild, and the premise behind that is to reach more people that are aspiring cue makers, and try to help them in any way that I can, as much as I can. I have people that come by the shop, and I teach them how to build cues, but I wanted to reach out to a broader audience, and this is what I've come up with. So far, so good. I do have a partner in this, Ed Peterson with EAP Cues. He lives in Florida. I live in Virginia. but we've been friends for a few years now, and he kind of agreed to help me with this channel as much as he can. I mean, this isn't his primary source of income. He has a regular job. Me, this is my source of income. This is what I do for a living, and it's what I've done for a living for quite a few years. Ed donates videos and information as he can. I try to donate as much information as possible and upload as many videos as possible as often as possible. But again, the main intention of this channel is to help other cue makers or would-be cue makers to learn the ropes, begin their journey, find out what types of equipment they need to have to get started, things of that nature, and post more videos along the way to hopefully help both the cue maker or aspiring cue maker and to also help the players. When I create these videos, I try to put information in there that is both beneficial to the cue maker and to the player. That's important to me. One is because the cue maker needs to know what he's doing with the material and the tooling that he's doing it with, and two, the player needs to know why he's using what he's using. Okay, things such as why do you have a ferrule? What does a ferrule do? Why do we have different types of tips, layered tips, solid tips, things like that? The balance point of a cue, the length of a cue, the shaft diameter, the butt diameter, everything, every aspect. Well, people need to know why we have these things and how it has progressed over the years. And that's my intention. That's my goal. So far, this has been a very good channel. It's been going now for about 4 weeks, and we already have almost 1,000 subscribers. So apparently, our content is interesting. Now I can see your comments while I'm doing this live stream. I'm using my phone tonight, so I can't see the comments directly on my phone, but I have my monitor in front of me as well. I'm in the office, and I can see your comments, and I can reply to those as well. I did just get through uploading another video tonight, and that was on keelwood shafts. It's only about 15 minutes long, but it's everything that you need to know for that, and that should be finished processing here in about, let's see, 18 minutes. So that one will be up for viewing here shortly, probably by the time I end this live stream. Now, sorry, it's after hours for me. It's 11:44 at night. I smoke. So anyway, I just want people to be aware of why we have things the way we have them, why we develop things the way we develop them. Let's see, Chris Whitten, have you done a video on how to put a new tenon in? No, I have not done a video currently on how to do a tenon replacement on a shaft. I have thought about it, and it just kind of slipped my mind, and I moved on to something else, but I will do one. And if I don't do it, Ed will. And anyway, back to the topic. Thanks for commenting, by the way, and thanks for joining. This channel I'm beginning to develop as much of a passion for this channel and helping you guys as I am for building cues and playing. So that's a pretty big thing for me. Whenever I get committed to something, I stick with it, and I intend on providing as much transparency and fluid information as possible on this channel. Now, that's the problem. Oh, now let me change that. That's the main reason that I decided to create this channel, because there are so many cue makers out there that are not willing to share their information. And I wish I'd have had me 30 years ago when I began this journey. I could have shaved off 5 years of my learning curve. But fortunately for you, I went through the pain. I went through the whole 9 yards of learning how to do this and how not to do that, and I can share it with you. And I don't mind. Again, I gotta mention it. It's just part of the job, I guess. But um, I'm not charging anything for it. To me, it's enjoyable. But if you would like to donate, down in the bottom of your screen, you'll see right beside the chat section where you can just click on the dollar sign and make a donation. That's totally up to you if you want to or not. Much appreciated. It helps us buy better equipment, cameras, and stuff like that, so I can supply more information to you and even develop even more how-to videos. Now, one of the things I'd like to ask you guys is, are you enjoying the seminar slash lecture videos that I'm doing more, or are you enjoying the physical hands-on how-to videos more? Your response to that will help me uh, figure out and plan what to produce in the future. um, I kind of like the informative videos, kind of like we're doing right now, but the how-to videos come in extremely handy as well. So, if you could, we got 5 subscribers now. So if you could, you guys chime back in and let me know how you're enjoying these uh, seminar lecture type videos, and also in comparison, which one you think is best, or are they both the same? With your help, I will know more of what to give you, what to provide for you. Now, off topic, I'm currently building a queue as we speak. Actually, I have it hanging up beside me. I have one here. I'll try to zoom it to scan it through here. This one, I don't know how well you can see it, but this one is one that I'm doing. It's a 6-pointer with curly maple, and I have a series of ringwork inlays in there, as you can see. Now, this queue is oversized, and it has just a sealer coat on it. So I have a long way to go, and it is going to get a wrap. So that's just a maple handle. I have to cut the linen groove. And then on the back of the queue, we have all the good stuff. This one I have puka shell and mother of pearl in the windows. And again, this is still in process. I hadn't finished it yet. I hope to have it ready by, I'd say, Friday or maybe Saturday. But let me hang this back up. I keep the current queue that I'm working on in the office with me. Let's see here. Let me look at this and see what we got going on. Chris Whitten, you have done a video of how to put a Newton in. No, I've already answered that one. You said you love them all. How to hands-on. Okay, good deal. You said a live chat's great. Thank you very much. Jerry, I'm enjoying both. Good deal. I appreciate that. Thanks for looking at the queue, both Anthony and Chris. Now, again, I should have that one done by I'd say the weekend. It should be up for grabs. But, I had a little bit of time, and I wanted to just kind of reach out and give you the reasoning behind this channel and what my intentions are for it, and what I hope to achieve by it. One, it's relaxing for me. It kind of gets me away from the shop, per se. But also, it allows me to help more people. Now, is it a hands-on situation, one-on-one in the shop with me? No. But when I do these things, the lectures and the how-to videos, and when Ed does a video and he posts one up, it's the next best thing as to being in the shop with me. See, the thing the thing that I like about these is, there are plenty of how-to videos out there that you can get and buy, and some are very explanatory, very detailed. The problem with that is you can't ask a video questions, you know. And when you watch a how-to video on anything, you get answers, but you also develop more questions. So this is kind of my way of giving the option to view the how-to video, view and listen to the lecture or the seminar, and then in the comments ask your questions that you can't ask a video. Um, I am also going to do one-on-one communication chats um, outside of this, but that's down the road. It's in the future. Let's see here. I currently I have one video that is uploading, and actually I think it is finished uploading. And this one, the next video that I'm uploading right now as we speak, is titled Kill Wood Shafts. And that one should be processing here shortly. Let me give me just a minute to get a few clicks in. Hold on. All right, public, private, schedule. Okay. I just published another video. It's only about 15 minutes long, but it covers kill wood shafts and everything about them and my opinion on them. It says, let's see here. Chris Witten, with all the how-to videos I've seen so far, yeah, I'm sorry, I've seen yours by far is the best I've seen. Well, I appreciate that very much, Chris. I really do. I take a lot of passion and dedication into what I do, whether it be build a queue or help an up-and-coming queue maker or repair guy. It's all very important to me. My whole life has been or has revolved around billiards in one way or the other. And Chris Witten, I enjoyed our conversation on the phone that we had a little while back, about an hour ago. I just feel that the more information that I can provide, then the better off you are, because what happens in most cases, and you'll notice that whenever I provide information, I talk kind of fast. I provide a lot of information and in a little amount of time. Now, while I don't expect you to retain all that information, probably about 10%. The human brain can conceive 10% of what it hears each given day. So the technique to my teaching is to pack a lot of information in a little amount of time. Now, although you are not going to possibly remember everything, you're still only going to remember 10% of what you hear. At this point, you're remembering a larger area of 10%, if that makes any sense, because I'm giving you more information in the same amount of time. So I think that video just posted. Oh, it did. Okay, good deal. Again, guys, as far as the donations and stuff go, yeah, it's very much appreciated. I appreciate it, and I like to see them. It helps us out. It's wonderful. And if you can, click on the lower right link. I mean, not link, but button down in the chat section, and send us a buck or two. It helps us out. It helps show that you're supportive and that you're interested in what we offer. Let's see. What else to talk about here? Well, let's see. Anthony, do you have a website? I would like to get a custom. Well, Anthony, I appreciate your question, and I would be more than happy to help you. But I haven't taken a custom order in over 3 years. I got into a position to where about 10 years ago, I was way too far behind, and it became unenjoyable for me. It was very unenjoyable, and I made the decision to discontinue taking custom orders. I still build queues every day, and I'll never stop doing that. That's my job, but I don't have a passion to build another custom queue. I focus on building what I want to build by my design, and once it's completed, then I'll offer it for sale. Because you run into too many situations with the custom order side of people not understanding what really goes into building a quality queue and how long the process really takes. And therefore, you end up with a lot of phone calls, emails, text messages, Facebook stuff, and win, now. And to me, that's just too stressful. Because now I'm in a position to where I have to, one, build their queue, and two, teach them why it takes so long to make them. I can understand, wanting, you pay for something, you want it now, but unfortunately, in the Cuemakers world, we're not really, this isn't McDonald's, you can't just buy it and drive to a drive-through and pick it up and go home. It takes time. But ultimately, that's why I stopped offering custom orders. I did enjoy making them. Don't get me wrong, and I did very well at it. It just became too stressful on me. But I hope that answers your question, Anthony. As far as the Q-Smith, I hope that works out for you. No, not you. Jerry, as far as the Q-Smith, so the further I get into Q work, the more the how-to videos will be helpful. Yes, I hope so. This is out to Jerry Rathman. What type of Q-Smith did you get? Did you get the Q-Smith Deluxe with the 6-foot bed? Did you get the smaller version? Which one do you have, if you know? That's a pretty good benchtop model. As far as benchtop models go, and this is to Jerry, the Mid-America lathe serves a good purpose as well. I actually like the Mid-America lathe more than I like the Hightower lathe. Both of them are good, but just personal preference. I would choose, if benchtop wise, I'd be using the Mid-America. But the Hightower machines are good as well. They really are. They're well built, and they'll last you forever. But if you guys have a question for me, just kind of trailing off from the topic of this whole live stream, the whole idea. If you have a question for me, put it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you if I can. But the whole idea behind this live stream was to kind of give you a little bit of information about me and why we have the channel. So to carry on with the information about me, again, I began playing when I was 6, and I went on to become a machinist, and then I graduated from Savannah Institute of Art and Design, and you put all three of those things together. You have the artistic value, you have the machining background, and then plus you're a player. So you put all those together, and poof, you're a key maker, or at least you have the foundation to become one. You'd be surprised at how many people become key makers and don't even play pool. Well, how can you do that? I've never understood that. How can you justify yourself as a cue maker if you don't know why you're building things the way you are? It really helps to be a player, an avid player as well. At least by doing that, you know what you're shooting for. Jerry, it's the deluxe model. That's a good choice, Jerry. Of all the models that Chris produces, Chris Hightower, that is, the deluxe is probably the best one. The only thing that I don't like about the deluxe model is the fact that it has a stationary headstock. But again, that's completely preferential. It's something that you easily get used to. I just like to be able to move the headstock back and forth along my bed. But that's a great machine, especially for the price. And that machine should last you forever. It really should if you take care of it. But nonetheless, I ended up going from producing cues and learning how when I lived in Augusta, Georgia. Um, then I came back to Virginia here, where I was born, and I carried it on. I did take a little break in between. I didn't do it for a full time living. It wasn't my job back then. Um, it's only been my it's only been my actual job, probably for the past 10 years, maybe 12. But I've done it for the past 30, at least as a hobby. The past 10 years, 12 years ago is when I turned it and converted it into a legitimate company, and this is all that I do. This is the only thing that I do, and it's done 6 days a week. Uh, but I have a passion for it. I'll always have a passion for it, and I don't think that'll ever go away. And granted, some days are better than others, and that's something else that you're going to find out as you become more involved in cue making. You know, you're going to have your bad days and then your down days, and some days that things just don't go right. And the only advice that I can give to that is, if you're in your shop and you are in the middle of producing a cue and everything is going wrong, stop. Just stop and leave for the day. Leave for a couple of hours. Leave for the afternoon, and then come back, with a fresh mind. Jerry, yeah, I remember those, Jerry. Back in the '90s, is I had one just like that. You can move the headstock back and forth. But now that's not the case. If you buy a brand new one, they're stationary. Uh, but again, that's the single best piece of advice that I can give you. If you get frustrated in the shop, or you get to a position to where things aren't going right that day, I don't care if you're under the gun. I don't care if you have a deadline to meet. Stop. Walk away. Because what happens and how much quality is that cue going to have in it if you're aggravated, if you're frustrated? Just walk away. Come back. It's going to take a little longer to complete, sure. But remember, there are no erasers in this business. Once you get to a point, there's nothing worse than having, like that cue that I just built, and I'll show it again. The cue that I'm working on right now, I'll show that one more time. This one, it's pretty involving as it is. But what if I made a mistake right now? As much work as I put into this cue, what if I made a mistake right now? Well, what would happen? I'd have to make a choice. Am I going to finish it? Am I going to fix it? Am I going to throw it away? Well, odds are I'm going to throw it away and start over if I make a mistake. But, that's why you take your time and you do it right the first time, so you don't make the mistakes. And if you're having a bad day, you stop. It's going to be there when you come back. Just pick it up when you come back. And again, I hope to have this one finished. And this one, to the one that was asking me earlier about custom orders, this one is available. It does not have an owner. So if you're curious about that one, I can talk to you about that. That's going to be a $4,000 key when it's done, and it'll be ready to go by Saturday. But nonetheless, I wanted to also mention how much I appreciate you guys. You guys have really been, based on your comments and your feedback and your likes and stuff like that, you've really kind of been the fire to me doing this. Let's see, Chris Witten, will you clear it before or after you put the wrap on? Well, I always finish the cue. I have the cue, whatever cue it may be, I have it in a position to where it is 100% finished and complete before I put the wrap on. And then I'll cut my linen groove afterwards and then put the wrap on. Now, the reason that I do that is because I wish I had something to show you. Well, actually, I do have something to show you. Um, if you do it before the wrap, okay, you see this slider? Do you see this little edge right here? How it curls over? See that light? How it curls over like that? Well, that's the same kind of finish that you're going to get if you do it before um, clear coating, because you will have already cut your groove, and then when you put your clear coat on, it's going to roll over that edge, so you're going to have that roll effect. Now, I don't like that effect. I like a nice, clean, sharp finish, kind of like what this would provide. See how sharp 90 degree that is? Well, if you finish the cue 100% and then you come back and cut your linen groove, then you can expect to have this nice, sharp 90 degree angle. And that's what I shoot for. I think it's more presentable, it's more professional. You can do it either way, but I always encourage people to do the wraps after the clear coat. I hope that answered your question, Chris. Yeah, let's see, I think we've been on for about 30 minutes. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'll tune out, but thanks for the response, buddy. To everyone that has already donated to my channel, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. It shows the support, and it encourages me to produce more. And it shows me that you're really getting it. You're really in tune with it, and that you're really paying attention to it, and you like it. So, with that being said, if you'd like to give a donation, you can do so at the bottom of the screen. It's not required, but of course it's appreciated. Whether you donate or not, I'm going to continue the channel. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep providing information. But with that being said, I think that's a half hour is a good enough live stream for now. Again, I'm just kind of testing this stuff out. I did one last night, and I had a crappy camera, and it was just crap. Chris, I'm trying to get 3 of my friends to tune in now, but not sure if they're on here or not. That's okay, buddy. Once this live stream is over with, Chris, it'll still be here. You can go back to it anytime you want. It just won't be live once I close that out. But right now we've got 10 people on, and I'm not sure if you can rewind this while it's live or not either. But like I said, last night was the first live stream that I've done with this channel, and I guess it was okay for the most part, but to me the camera quality was horrible, and the topics just kind of rambled on. Jerry says, thanks for all the info you're providing. You're more than welcome. George, you're welcome. That's the stuff. That's all we care to. That's all we need to hear is the thanks. Ed and I, intend on continuing this for a very long time. There are mountains and mountains of information to cover. It's just a matter of finding the time to do so. And I have a goal to produce at least 2 videos a week for the channel, and maybe depending on how this live stream goes, if it generates any revenue for us, maybe do a live stream once a week on a certain day at a certain time every week, if possible. Don't know, but at any rate, I will show that cue one more time to the people that just tuned in. Again, this one is a curly maple 6-pointer. That I'm currently working on, and it will get a wrap. And again, the shiny stuff you see, that's not a clear coat. That's a seal coat. This wrap area is just some light curly maple. That's it. This is the wrap, and this is where I'll put the linen groove at. And then you get to the, and you can see that the back end of it has abalone shell in the center of the diamonds, the main diamonds, and then you have mother of pearl diamonds on the in the ring work, and then my butt cap, and then you'll notice that there's a little tenon sticking off right here. Well, that tenon is there. This is a cord cue. All of my cues are cord. That tenon is there so I can actually chuck it in the headstock of my machine when I'm doing inlays, or when I'm clear coating or anything else. I have a pretty good question that I need to answer right here. Let me get this hung up. George says, "Do you think you'll get some flack from other cue makers for giving away the secrets of the trade?" Sure, I do. And you know what? I don't care. I hope I do, because if they want to be other cue makers, that is, if they want to be so stingy and secretive, I mean, well, they must be thinking that they have competition out there. Me, I don't feel like I have competition. I build what I build, people like it, and they pay top dollar for it. If I teach somebody how to build a cue, I'm not breeding competition, not in my mind, because I already have my clientele. But to answer your question, yeah, George, I do think to a degree some people will. But quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I'm just that guy. Somebody has to come out and tell it like it is, and give the information. And who better than me? But nonetheless, that's my thing. I've already gotten some flack behind the scenes from other top cue makers already. And, I tell them like it is. Well, I'm sorry that you didn't think about it first. See, the thing is, and the major part of this is that Ed Peterson and me are the only people that's doing this. This has never been done before. Nowhere can you go online and find the information that we provide. You can in little bits and pieces, but they never really tell you anything. We try to be as detailed as possible, but without being boring. We try to be as detailed as possible while still providing the information that you need to do a complete process from start to finish. And that's what everything else is lacking. Either you see a video online showing you how to do something and nobody's talking, it's just footage, so you're left to kind of figure it out for yourself, or the person, whoever it may be, is talking, but they don't tell you half of what they're doing. And that's why I made the decision to call up Ed Peterson and discuss it with him and tell him what my intentions were with Cuemakers Guild. And he said, yeah, he'd help me as far as donating how-to videos and help create them and stuff like that. I just think that there should be another way. There should be an easier way, and there should be a more informative way, non-restricted, something that's not holding secrets back. Jerry says, maybe a video on how a cue hits based on construction, cord versus full splice versus joints. Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea, Jerry. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm glad you said something. I may just do that. Me, I core all of my cues, and I have a full splice laying around that I could use for comparison. I think I may have one that is not cored that I could use for comparison as well. So yeah, I might do that for you. Maybe go into my pool room, and I'll jump on the table sometime, and I'll lay all 3 cues out, put the same shaft on each cue, and try to show you the differences. That's a good idea, Jerry. Thanks for it. I appreciate that. That's a good idea. But nonetheless, we have now been going for 40 minutes, and I think I'll give it a good 45, and then I'll go ahead and chime out of here. Which that's another 5 minutes worth, 3.5, 4.5. But if you guys have another question or comment, let me know. And here again, I hate to keep asking. I just want to see the involvement. You know, if you would, please donate to the channel. You can do so by clicking on that little button down there, right beside the comments, my chat section. It's a $sign. Just click on it, and you can donate there. And all of my videos that I do, in the description area, there's also a link that you can donate via PayPal. Any video that I have out there. But the donations help, guys. It really does. It encourages me and Ed to do more and to create more. Let's see. Jerry says, I find since switching to carbon fiber shafts, butt construction seems to make a bigger difference. Yes, it can. And actually, I just did a video talking about keelwood shafts. It should be live. It should be posted now if you want to check that out. It may be informative. George, one suggestion for the channel would be for Ed to get a lavalier mic. He's hard to hear sometimes when he's sitting far from the camera. Yes, he is, and I've mentioned that to him. He provides good content and good information, and I'm glad that he's helping me. But he does need to be a little bit closer to the camera, shoulder, kind of like me, shoulders up, and that forces your mouth to be closer to the mic, especially if you're using a cell phone to do it with. And in this case, I am. But I also feel that you can hear me okay. But I'm sure that Ed will be watching this, and if he doesn't bring it up, I'll bring it up to him, and I'm sure that he will be understanding about it. So he does great videos, and he's a good friend of mine. I don't think he'll have a problem at all with that. I have another lavalier mic that I could send him, but you can't plug it into your phone, and I think that is I think that's his main source of camera. It is his cell phone, which right now, like I said, tonight I'm using mine, which has great camera quality. Actually, it has better camera quality than my remote cameras. But I'll mention it to him, George. I did notice your comment. I think it was last night, saying something about that. George says, Ed has great content. Just want to hear all of it. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you can hear me. You can hear me when I have the tools running as well. It's a good mic, I guess. But I try not to talk too much when I have the machines running, for the lack of hearing. I'm a very soft-spoken person. Now, granted, the microphone does amplify my voice some. But I feel that, there's a certain way you should record a video. There's a certain distance you should be away from the camera, that kind of thing. But anyway, I do think that we have at least 150 more videos to come. And that would be just breaking the surface, in all honesty, because once and this will be all me, I'm sure, but I want to start producing videos on CNC, how to create your inlays, how to do your tapers, all CNC, how to generate G-code, what the G-code means, things like that. Because a lot of people that are getting into cue making are going straight to CNC equipment. So I think that will be beneficial. Maybe not to most people, but to the ones that are using it. I think I'll do one just to kind of test the waters and see how much response it gets, because that's going to be a different animal. It's going to be a lot more involving as far as video time and post processing and all that good stuff. So um, Ed Whitten sounds great about the 150 videos, but yeah, well, it may be more than that. I mean, if you think about it, it could be never ending. I mean, we're cue makers. There's always something to talk about, something to discuss. You can never cover it all. And if you do it in enough detail, one little topic can last an hour. And I don't want my videos to be any longer than an hour. Actually, I make most of my videos about a half hour long, because I find that after a half hour, people start to drop off, they start to lose attention, and they carry on somewhere else. So George says CNC looks scary. Well, CNC operations can be scary, but it's not as hard as you may think it is. Now, it's a lot more technical, and there's a lot more math and stuff like that involved. And you have to have some computer knowledge and things like that. A little bit of machining background wouldn't hurt. But once you start doing it, it's not as hard as it looks. It really isn't. The hardest part is designing and creating the files. But again, I'm going to do at least one video that shows just that, and I'll see how it plays out. I'll see how much response it gets, and stuff like that. And then based on the response that it gets, we'll determine if I do more of those before. Chris Whitten says, I've never seen a video showing about using a CNC machine. Well, not in the Q world, but if you go to YouTube and you type in CNC machine videos or whatever, how-to videos, there's thousands of videos on how to use a CNC machine, but not related to the Q world, as far as what types of CAD CAM software do you use, what types of post-processing do you use, what size end mills do you use, things like that. But those are things that I could cover. Now, let's see, where are we? We're at 47 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this a solid 1 hour, and then I'll go ahead and close it out. I got 10 people viewing, I've got 8 likes, and I got no donations. I'm just kidding, guys. I need something to drink because I'm thirsty. Now, what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to close this one out in about 6 minutes. But I'll be back with something else, probably. Well, hold on a second. Bruce says, what does it mean when you say Q is cored? Is that similar to corked? Well, when a Q is cored, let me grab his Q again. And this is to Bruce. Bruce, when a Q is cored, if you look at the back of the Q, you can see that I have maple in the back, and then in the front, well, I got the collar on, but you can see down here in the joint pan, it's got maple to it. So yes, and then you have a mechanical A joint right here. That's where the handle, that's where the handle and the forearm connect. That's your A joint, and it's mechanical. But there is a core that goes all the way through the Q. That is a cored Q, and there's a reason that we core the Q. The main reason that we core the Q, and I'm not going to get onto this too much because I want to do another video about it, but the main reason that we core Q is for structural integrity and warp resistance. Okay, when you core the Q, it becomes a lot more stable, and you can actually work it a lot faster. But that's the main reason. There are other reasons, and I will get into those with another video. As a matter of fact, I think that might be my next video. I think I can come up with enough stuff on cord Qs to talk for 30 minutes. But nonetheless, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you watching. If you liked this live stream, please, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, continue watching. Leave me some comments and let me know what you're thinking about what we're producing, how you're liking the live streams specifically. George donated $5. Thanks, George. I appreciate that. George is the first donator of the night. $5. Thanks, George. Seriously, thank you. But I really need to know these things from you guys so I know what I'm doing in the future. You know, we have three things that are going on right now. We have the recorded how-to videos, and then we have the recorded lectures slash seminars, and then now we have the live stream. So I need to know which one is the most beneficial. You may like them all, you might not like any of them, but of the three, which one is the most beneficial? Because that's going to help me set the foundation as to how to prioritize future videos and live streams. George, again, I appreciate the $5 donation. I do. There's hey, Rubster760. I'm glad you came back to join us again. Chris Whitten says all three is great, hard to pick. Well, I need you to pick one. If you can, try to pick one that you think is better than the others, you know, as far as methods. Do you want to see more live streams? Do you want to see more of the pre-recorded how-to videos? Or do you want to see more of the lectures and seminars? You got to pick one to help me out. But nonetheless, we still got about 3 minutes here. And then I am going to get off of here and get back to work. I actually work... George says, how-tos are my favorite. Okay, thanks, George, for the input. And then Chris says, dang, man, you're asking me too much. It's just a simple question, Chris. Which one would you like to see? But anyway, my work schedule begins at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's usually till about 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 days a week. If you want to know the hours of a cue maker, that's about what you're looking at, if they're doing it full time. But anyway, I appreciate the donation, George. Thank you very much. And hopefully I'll look forward to some more in the future. But the main thing really isn't so much the donations, but again, thank you again, George, seriously. It's more about spreading the education. And I hope, my wife says I am, but I hope that I'm a good teacher. I really do. So Chris says, how-tos for sure, and keep the live streams going. All right, so you picked two. I appreciate that. Okay, Gene Kelly just donated $10. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate that very much. Now you're making me, these previous two donations that happened within the last 10 minutes are making me want to keep the stream going longer. But I appreciate the donation there, Gene. I appreciate it very much. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so, if you will. Now, tomorrow, or rather this week, I will probably do a video, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the next topic should be. I know that I want to do one specifically on coring, and I've already done a how-to video on coring, but I want to do another seminar lecture type video on the reasoning behind coring, and I think that'll answer a lot of questions. But George and Jean, thank you for your donations. I have to get myself readjusted here. Hang on just a minute. There we go. Now, again, I hope that the stuff that we do is kind of helping you guys out. And Chris is saying do a live stream once or twice a week. Yeah. Let's see here. It says, I'm just getting into key repair. I really would like to see repair videos, like how to repair chips and butts. Oh, okay. Yeah, George, that's a good idea, actually. It's specifically on that, like a chipped clear coat, how to feather in a new clear coat, because a lot of people, when they bring you a cue, not well, not you, but when they bring the repairman a cue, and then it has a chip clear coat on it, well, then the first thing that a repairman thinks to himself is, oh, I need to replace the whole clear coat. In most cases, you really don't have to. You can feather in a new clear coat in that area. Of course, depending on what kind of clear coat was used. But yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that for you. And then Jerry says, I'd say the lectures give us the theory and the reason why you do it the way you do. The how-tos show us how it's done, so they're kind of go together. Yeah, they do. The live streams are great for follow-up or for questions. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And honestly, I think they should be done in that order. I think that the first video should be a lecture or seminar explaining a certain topic, and then the next video should be the how-to video on that topic, and then the third should be a live stream so people can ask questions in relation to the topic. That's a good idea, George. Thanks. I mean, Jerry. Thanks. But as for now, it has been 56 minutes. We did get 2 donations. I do appreciate that. And I'm going to give it exactly 1 hour, so that would be another, let's see, another 3 minutes, and then I'm going to chime out of here and get back to work. I appreciate you guys very much. I really do. I hope that we're helping in every way that we can. I'm sure that in a lot of cases, you're probably developing more questions as you receive answers. Repster 760, I would like to see that match live with you and Johnny. Yeah, he or I or somebody in the audience, I'm sure, will do it live. Now, Repster 760, you can actually go on the YouTube channel now, Cuemakers Guild, and I do have one of our matches on there. We were doing some races to 3 gambling. Those were pretty good. The camera quality was horrible, but nonetheless, it was Johnny and I, and we were doing races to 3, and that is on our YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm sure somebody's going to record it, and I just have to get my hands on it. But yeah, I'm sure somebody will. So we got right at 2 minutes left. And I may even begin not just cue making, but this thing may venture off into playing as well. How-to videos and techniques on the pool table, you know. If I'm gonna go so far as to teach people how to build cues and to provide education to the player about the cues, I should probably go ahead and add in some how-tos and some tips and advice on playing. But that's one of my end goals, is kind of a, but then I'd have to change the name of the channel. Because right now it's called Cuemakers Guild. But no, seriously, I do want to offer all of that, all the above. I mean, why not, right? But nonetheless, has been 1 hour, and I am going to sign off of here. I think that's all the donations we're going to get for tonight. Yes, yeah, you're correct. I can. And yeah, as far as the 1,000 subscribers, I'm actually going live on my phone right now, and I'm not quite at 1,000, but I should be at 1,000 before Friday, I would think, at the pace that it's going. But nonetheless, I appreciate it, guys. I do have to get out of here for now, But if I don't know if you can do donations after the stream is over or not, but I do appreciate all the donations that we did get tonight. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the next video. See you guys. Thanks.